Hello, everybody. Welcome to Disabilities Redefined with Dr. Wagner. I'm Dr. Truett Wagner, and as always, happy you are here. One thing I love about Miss Wheelchair USA is meeting fascinating couples like Miss Pennsylvania USA, the current Miss Wheelchair Pennsylvania USA, Anomie Fatale, and her boyfriend, Chris Gibilisco. Enjoy this interview. Fascinating couple.
Still, knowing one pageant girl, one pageant girl, you don't know what the rest of, the people are going to be like, if they're going to be, someone described it on Facebook as the lion's den. So I obviously got a little nervous. But going into it, it's like, yeah, they're all lions, but like the cool kind that don't eat each other. So I like being one of those lions.
My heart was beating out of my ear, I felt, half the time. I was like, oh my God, I'm not on stage, but my essentially heart is on stage. Yeah. And I'm hoping everyone's okay. I'm hoping nothing bad happens, like, off script or off, nobody's falling off the stage or anything.
Just being women in general, you're going to have those moments. But I always say, like, I don't have a single friend that I haven't at one point just wanted to totally call out and slap. And that's how we know we're friends. If we can have those moments and we can talk it out in a way where violence doesn't happen, like, that's how we are, that's bond, that's sisterhood, honestly. And I think I definitely, bumped into people in some moments with, especially, in the back trying to physically get our chairs, to do the choreography and people not seeing other people and literally almost bumping in. There were moments like that. But we all kind of figured it out, and then the next time going around, we all, respected each other's barriers and boundaries and, worked it out. And that's really what bonding is. I think advice I would have for anyone who's interested in competing in pretty much any disability advocacy pageant setting is you need to really have the time to devote to that and make sure that you really do treat it like something that it really is a job. At the end of the day, you are making business networking skills, you are really putting yourself out there as, part of a portfolio that could end up giving you your career. So really don't take it lightly. Don't take it as oh, this is just something fun that I wanted to do because I wanted to look hot in a dress or whatever. No, this is really something that there's a lot of work, there's a lot of business behind it. And you need to make sure that you're ready for that kind of commitment if you want to pursue something like this. Can I tell them?
Yeah, if you want.
Because whenever they asked you for the interview, you didn't give them the full story, and I was like, oh man, why didn't you give them the full story? So you guys.
It's ironic. We met through social media.
We met through social media. It was Facebook dating, but that's not the funny part. The funny part was I didn't want to do Facebook dating because I just thought it was all terrible. And me and my friend were hanging out, and she was a few glasses of wine in, and she just was like, no, you're not giving up on this. Grabbed my phone, got onto Facebook dating for me, swiped out a bunch of people. I had no idea who they were. He was one of them. And the next day when I got my phone back, I saw I had a message from this really handsome person that I was like, oh, wow, good thing I didn't even pick you. And I didn't let him know that I didn't pick him for it was a month or two into us dating, and then I wanted to let you know that, and then you laughed, and I was like, okay, that's
good. So you all actually met on social media?
Yeah, we met on the Facebook dating app, and my friend picked him for me.
Yeah, no, just full.
It's an arranged marriage, but on Facebook dating.
I honestly didn't know that you were even disabled until we were talking, and you were very upfront with it and very transparent. And what drew me to her initially, and even through talking and after learning that, was she seemed like a very interesting musician with very similar tastes to me. We had a very similar humor, I guess, while we were messaging, very a dry sense of humor, I guess. Yeah, but I full transparency again. I've never dated anyone disabled or in a wheelchair or anything like that, and I only care about if we jive as people and if we have similar interests, if we can have fun legitimately in conversation. And then all that other logistical stuff is very, very far secondary to me. I'm a big believer of you can have chemistry with someone, and that is one of the most important things. Right. I think that's the true path to that bond.
And on that, if I met somebody who I believed that their attraction to me was because I was a strong woman in a wheelchair, I wouldn't want to be with them because I've dealt with so many devotees that they objectify, it's almost dehumanizing how they see you as a strong woman in a wheelchair, but it's more about the wheelchair than the woman, or even just being a human being. Like you're
Right.
basically into like filling into their fantasy.
What do you like, you two as a couple, what do you two like to do in your spare time? That's the last question.
Dangerous things. We went parasailing.
We did.
We lived.
We try to push the envelope of what we can do.
We try to figure that out because I'm always like a thrill seeker, but I kind of am partially paralyzed, missing the back of my skull, so he's kind of like the balance.